We're going way back in the archives of Today River Valley with the following segment. This is Phil Bampede, the producer of the program. 6 years ago, Today River Valley looked at a very unique kind of social club, the snowshoeing movement. The snowshoeing movement is a kind of social club based on snowshoeing and snowshoe racing. It's like the Elks or the Eagles, except that instead of just socializing in a building, they actually go out and participate in snowshoe activities. The snowshoe movement started in Quebec. This segment looks at a snowshoe club in Rumford, which is still active today. We'll have that after a short message from a local business.
The news is the Jolly Drayman Pub has expanded. The authentic British pub in the Briarley Inn on Route 2 in Bethel now has several large-screen TVs and expanded cafe-style seating by the fireplace. Come in and watch the game with a plate of our famous fish and chips or one of our great new pizzas. The Jolly Drayman Pub in the Briarley Inn, Route 2, Bethel.
Everybody has heard of the labor movement and the environmental movement, but not many have heard of the snowshoe movement. But there was plenty of snowshoe movement in Mexico January 6th, and it was part of a history and culture unique to Canada and the northeastern United States. It was a day of snowshoe races on the fields behind the Mountain Valley Middle School, organized and sponsored by the Pas de Sur Club, whose headquarters are on Wallow Street in Rumford.
Steve Gallant, president of the Pas de Sur Club. I've been president over here 45 years. We participate in the races, and local parades, and we have Beano and social club upstairs with a bar and have dances.
So instead of a veterans group or Elks or something like that, you organized around snowshoeing?
Yes, yeah.
Are you yourself active in snowshoeing?
I have been pretty much the last 3 or 4 years. I haven't been at well, so I haven't been doing any snowshoeing.
How many?
I still help organize it.
How many members do you have?
We have about 400 here.
That's quite a lot.
Yeah.
Of the 400, how many are snowshoers?
Not very many. Just a handful.
The snowshoe movement originated in Quebec in the middle of the 19th century to preserve snowshoeing as a sport and eventually to create a network of clubs that served as fraternal organizations. The Rumford Club, Le Pas de Sur, was organized in 1928, and the name Pas de Sur translates as the lazy one. The club emblem features a sloth. Over the years, the club has had many of the trappings of fraternal organizations, including uniforms, a drum corps, and its own song. In addition to functioning as a private club and organizing snowshoe races, the club is active in charitable activities, particularly in support of the Hope Association and local food banks. It has also served as one of the important centers of French-Canadian culture in the River Valley.
Yeah, how many snowshoe clubs are there left these days, do you think?
There's probably about 9 or 10 in the States. In Canada, they're down to about the same up there. At one time, there used to be over 100 clubs in Canada and about 90 clubs in the States, back in the 20s and 30s, 40s.
Now, what do you use for equipment? I see pictures of old-fashioned wood. Are you using those, or do you use the modern snowshoes?
Some use the wooden ones and some use the newer ones. But in order to race, they've got to be a minimum of 8 inches wide, 25 inches long.
I'm Justin Welch. I'm from Rumford. Been doing it for 17, 18 years.
Could you show and explain what these are? And
these are just the old wooden snowshoes with the rubber foothold.
I don't know.
are you going to race?
I like them a lot better than the metal ones.
You're going to race on those today?
Yes.